This is my rocket. It's very small. Aww. I have 3 days to turn it into the biggest rocket in the world, and if I fail, I have to give away 1000 Robux. So let's do this. The way this game works is, you collect fuel using the fuel scoop, you launch a rocket with the fuel and get coins, and then with those coins you can upgrade your fuel scooper rocket. The most expensive rocket costs 5 million coins, and I only have 3 days to get it. So on day 1 I bought a slightly bigger rocket, and I made it to the first level, the clouds, where I found a treasure chest. I upgraded my fuel scoop and backpack and I collected 600 fuel, which was enough to get to level 2, the parkour. Here I got 100 gems. I used the coins to buy a better fuel scoop and collected 1200 fuel, which got me to level 3. Here there were lasers, and to disable them you needed a 4-number code, and I didn't know it. So I just tried all 1000 combinations until I found the one that worked. Bruh. There probably was a better way, but this worked too. However, this did take a significant part of the day, and I only got 100 gems. Also, the door closed behind me, so I couldn't get out. Bruh. When I returned I bought a third rocket, and I again collected some fuel. And with some I mean 3000. Now I made it not only to level 4, but also level 5 in one launch. For level 5 I had to rescue 20 moonlings from a giant asteroid that was moving towards the moon. And with moving towards it I mean standing completely still. For level 4 I had to beat the maze, but the maze had a glass roof so I could just see where I was going. Not really a very difficult maze. The next launch with 4500 fuel brought me to level 6. There were strange lasers protecting the chest. Fortunately they all had a very convenient off button. I bought a bigger rocket and also a robot that automatically collects fuel, and that was the end of the first day. On day 2 I spent the entire morning collecting fuel. 20,000 fuel to be precise. But since that's super boring to look at, let's look at something else in the meantime. Here I am in Natural Disaster Simulator, the game in which you have to survive natural disasters. So for example, now there's a thunderstorm, so we all have to go inside. It's not that difficult to survive, normally. However, for 100 Robux you can add a second natural disaster. Power up 1 times, power up 2 times, power up 3 times. The next game will have 4 natural disasters. This costs 300 Robux, this better be worth it. 1, 2, 3, 4 natural disasters. There's a tornado and a fire and everything is flooding. What the hell? No one can survive this. The entire island just got wiped out. I don't even know what the 4th disaster was. That's how chaotic it was. I missed an entire natural disaster. We're back in Blastoff Simulator, ready to launch. I made it to level 7 and 8 and 9. This one is actually a planet instead of a flat circle. That's nice. First let's do level 9. No, I bounced off. Guess I'll do that one next time. Level 8. The nuclear reactor is going to explode right now. I need to disable it. This may require 2 or more people. I did it alone because I'm simply too good. Level 7. The asteroids. Here are the treasures just at the bottom, so that's easy to get. Anyway, I earned 100,000 coins with this launch, which means I can skip the Prometheus and go straight to the Dual Atlas Plus rocket. I collected 21,000 fuel to get back to the planet I just bounced off of. This time jumping off right as I flew by. It was a mine and I had to find 3 crystals. This mostly involved walking through big crystals until the bars filled up. I did it, collected the prize, and then noticed the big blue board rocket button. I could have just teleported back up the last time, but I didn't know the button existed. I teleported and noticed my rocket had even made it past level 10. I needed to collect 20 berries for their secret moon juice. I wonder what that is. I collected the berries and got the juice, but it exploded before I had the chance to drink it. I jumped down and fell so hard onto the ground that I reached level 3 just from the bounce. In the evening of day 2 I realized I wouldn't make it if I kept going like this. The most money I had was 200,000, which was only 4% of the most expensive rockets. So I bought 1600 gems for actual Robux and I bought the handy bot, which automatically gives you fuel. I started collecting fuel alongside the bot with the goal of reaching 33,000 fuel. This took the entire evening, so while I am busy doing that, let's look at something else. Here I am in Death Run, where one killer triggers traps while runners try to reach the end of the obstacle course. 02 already got caught by the first trap, one more by the second. Yeah, so I'm using this advanced strategy called letting other people trigger the traps while I stay at the back of the group. It works really well. We're almost there. No, I'm the last one left. My strategy is no longer going to work. I'll have to take the lead. I have to do this to avenge my fallen friends. I made it. There he is, the killer. But if I kill the killer, doesn't that make me the killer? Do I become like the killer? Die! There are only 13 levels, so I hope that with 33,000 fuel I would be able to reach the last one. I didn't. I missed it by like 1,000 meters. Look at how close I am. I can almost touch it. I completed level 12 where I had to catch falling stars and level 11 where I needed to complete a parkour. I now had enough gems to buy a third robot. Then I found out that while I was doing the previous launch, the robots had still been collecting fuel, which meant that I now already had 40,000 fuel. I did another launch and this time I did reach the last level. Unfortunately it didn't give me any gems. It was a place where you can rank up. This is really useful if you just want to get a high score, but for me this would be a bad decision, very bad, because I wouldn't be able to reach the end again in one day, even with a multiplier. So I didn't do it. This lunch did give me enough coins to buy the Star Seeker, a very big red rocket. It was the end of the second day and I only had 2 more rockets to go. I was optimistic I could do this. In the morning I got up early to collect fuel. I collected a small amount, and by small I mean 150,000. This was going to be the biggest launch ever. I launched and I waited and I waited and I waited. It took almost 30 minutes for the fuel to run out. I had earned almost 2 million coins from this launch. With the most expensive rocket costing 5 million, I'd only need 3 of these. But here's the problem. This took the entire morning, so I didn't have time for 3 of these. I only had time for 2 more launches. I bought the Sky Dragon. This rocket was so large that you could reach the clouds just by climbing it. And other people wanted to climb it too. Everyone in the server ran up to my rocket and climbed it. They couldn't believe how big it was. I collected a small amount of 60,000 fuel to test it out. 60,000 fuel gave me approximately a million coins. So I calculated that I would need 300,000 fuel for 5 million coins. There was a problem, however. It would take the entire afternoon to collect the fuel, and the launch would then take the entire evening. I wouldn't be able to get the money on time. It would be past midnight. By the end of the afternoon I had collected 130,000 fuel. That should give me half of the money. Not nearly enough, but at least I would be getting close. But then I found out about boosters. With all the boosters active you get almost double the coins, which meant that this launch would give me almost all the coins I needed. 2 other people wanted to ride my rocket as well, so I took them to the top free of charge because I'm such a nice person, and also it doesn't cost me anything. The launch gave me 3.6 million coins, and I already had 1 million to begin with, meaning I was now at 4.6 million. However, there were only 30 minutes left, and I still needed 400,000. The bots had collected 60,000 fuel during the previous launch, and I wouldn't have time to collect more. I had to launch now. I bought more boosters and launched. I reached the money goal easily. Having the best rocket plus 3 boosters helps with that. The problem, however, was time. I only had 15 minutes left, and I had used just over half the fuel. This would be a very close call. When there were only 2 minutes left, I got the cash. I jumped down, which took 1 minute and 30 seconds. I only had 30 seconds left. I ran to the rocket store and bought the rocket. Only 10 seconds remained, but I did it. I got the boosted Sky Dragon, the biggest rocket in the game. Unfortunately, the person next to me had the normal Sky Dragon, making mine seem not very impressive. I would have rather been in a server where everyone else had a tiny rocket, so mine would have looked a lot bigger. Now it just looked normal. But still, let's launch it. This is it, the boosted Sky Dragon, the biggest rocket in the world. I bought 200 gems just to turbo boost it once, but that was well worth it. I finally did it. And I didn't have to give away 1000 Robux, fortunately. Hey, what's that? It's a DjaroGames t-shirt. That's right, these videos cost a lot of Robux to make, and Robux aren't free. That's why I am starting a Roblox Clothes line. We have a shirt with my face, a shirt with the DjaroGames logo, and a more subtle blue and yellow sweater. And the best thing is, these shirts only cost 20 Robux each. So if you want to see more Roblox videos, buy them now. The link is in the description.